Hello.
Hello, I am the light of the Leo. This is my brother, Mr. JoJo Speaks himself. He made me watch Netflix Elite. We are on episode 3 for season 1. Um, I guess that's all I have to say. Let's do this.
Yes, all right. So we start off with Omar at Sammy's house. Omar is on the phone and he's creating some type of advertisement for Sammy to throw this party. Not exactly sure. I don't even remember if there was a particular reason. He was throwing this party really for Marina. I think he wanted to get
To
get
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 her
Marina's
alone.
attention, and
Yeah,
I don't know if this is the best way, but I think he also wanted to make it look like he was cool in a way. Maybe get some Christian points, see it seem like he's more like a Christian type. But
but Sammy is not that dude.
He's really not that dude. Like he's such a square. And if you are a square,
Just
just
be
be
that.
that. Just be that.
Be
But
yourself.
anyways, Nano comes in. He snatches the phone out of Sammy's hand. He invites some people, and then we see that Marina, she does accept the invite. So
Mm-hmm.
then we get back to the school. Guzman approaches Ander, and he's apologizing about telling his
Ooh,
parents about the
child.
weed. And he literally says, I don't want you to overdose. I don't want you to end up like other people that I've seen using drugs. I don't know if he thinks it's a gateway drug, which I don't believe it is at all. I still don't can't wrap my head around his thought process behind that. But I do feel like Guzman has Anders' best interest at heart. I do think that. I don't think he's doing that to make Ander feel bad. I don't think he's doing it to do anything bad to Ander, on purpose. I just think he's looking out for Ander. Are you thinking the
But
same or are you thinking different?
I don't think it's bad, but there is something bad intertwined with that though.
Oh, absolutely.
It's the whole thing of making Ander bend to his will, what he wants him to do. I want this for you. This is what I want. And it's like I kind of liken it to Christians trying to make other people become Christians.
That's
I
it.
want you to do this. I feel like this is good for you. You should do it. Like, no, no. If he wants to change, if he wants to do something different, if you don't want him to do that, just tell him how you feel about it and
Right.
just keep pushing because you can't make anybody do anything. And once people start doing things just because you tell them to do so, there's this level of resentment that begins. So none of
Exactly.
that is healthy
Because when they realize that they don't want that for themselves and they realize that they've been pushed to do it against their own will. And the
because you
thing,
said so.
exactly. But the thing is, they could have had this conversation before he went to Anders' parents. They literally
Could
could
have,
have had the same
could have.
exact conversation. But anyways, so Guzman and Ander, they actually kind of make up and they decide to be more open with each other. So
But did you
there's
remember what he was talking about? Like why? Why he was so upset about the whole drugs thing?
well, he didn't he bring up his sister Marina with that.
Not only that, but he brought up his birth parents. I didn't know that boy was adopted.
Oh wow, jeez, I need to watch that again because that definitely slipped right past
Well,
me.
am I missing something? Oh, yeah, he said my birth parents when I found out about my birth parents, I was too late because they both died of an overdose. So
Oh,
that's even more
okay.
reason why he wants other people to not, you know, do bad things, not to do the drugs because both of his parents overdosed before he could meet them.
Wow, see, that's the good reason why both of us are watching this show because we both pick up on things that we miss. So
Like,
that's a
Jonathan,
good
I was
thing.
up at IHOP
Okay.
eating my omelette, honey, watching this. And I said, he's adopted. Okay.
Right. Wow. Well, Guzman and Marina, they really don't seem like actual
They
brother and
they're
sister.
not on the same
They're
page, no.
total opposites. But
And that's why they came to the decisions like, maybe we should have more conversations like this because
right.
now I'm getting to know more about you. But Guzman, he's still an a-hole. It just is what it is.
At the end of the day. So we're at the pool. The girls are swimming, and Guzman seems to be fixated on Nadia.
Yes.
Nadia does beat Lou in the little race that they had. Of course, Nadia's the she's the best. Period. And so Guzman and Lou is like, are you falling for that girl? All you were supposed to do was to get with her so that we can embarrass her in front of the whole school. And it's yeah,
Now,
Go ahead.
Well, no, wait, hold on. No, never mind. I'm sorry. Wrong thing.
But Nadia, Lou is having the feeling that Guzman is actually falling for Nadia. Are you getting the same sense that Guzman is falling for Nadia?
Absolutely. If you don't feel the okay, it's going to be one or the other. Maybe he's really playing the part well, or maybe he's actually falling for her. I think he actually is because of the way he be looking, and he a little bit too persistent in my opinion. But then again, it's like for him to be the way he is, I'm trying to figure out how is Lou able to move him like that. I just thought that was kind of weird.
It is a little weird. It is kind of weird. But when you're in those cliques, you kind of allow those people in your cliques to run you. Um,
Unfortunately.
and the funny thing is, Ander really isn't in that clique because he doesn't want Guzman to run him like
Oh
that.
no.
So
And
that's why I love the character of Ander.
and it's also because like just think about it. He knows that he's so far away from him as far as thought process. He's a weed head. He like men's and stuff like that. And just those things alone, that's not going to be cool with Guzman anyway. So that's why they will continue to live the separate lives.
Exactly, as they should. They're two totally different people, and I think. Anyways,
And no
I'm
matter
getting.
how much you want to try to make it happen, it just is what it is.
It is what it is.
It's not
So
going to work.
then Christian invites Ander to Sammy's party, and says that the weed man is going to be there. Omar is going to be there. Now Christian doesn't know that Omar and Ander got a thing going on. He just knows that Ander wants the weed. So there's that. But anyways, so Sammy's lawyer suggests that he stop talking, and he had her blood on him, and he saw someone leaving. He saw
Hmm.
someone leaving the scene, and I believe that person was Nano, if I'm not mistaken. So Nano meets with the prison guy. He's asking him for more time. Still not exactly sure what. Well, he was protected in prison from these guys,
Yeah, that's what
from
they said.
people,
Yeah.
and
And he
so
needed
that's
to pay
why.
up.
Right, he needs to pay up quickly. So then Christian asks if he's going to get either Marina, who will help. Hold on, wait a minute. Let me read this first before I say it. Christian asks if he's going to meet with either. Christian says he. Oh, so Christian and Nano are talking. I'm sorry, I didn't put context into my notes here. Christian and Nano were talking, and Christian's asking Nano if he's going to get with Marina. So I guess he's seen that he and Marina kind of have a sort of a thing going on or whatever. And Christian says that he would get with. He said he would get with Nano, and yeah, do his thing with
Okay.
him if he went that way.
He said he would get with Nano dry. That's what he said.
I put that in my notes. I didn't want to say it, but you said it, so there
That's
you
it.
go. He said he would.
Once again, I was over here eating my omelet. Okay.
Right. Lou is upset with Carla over this whole thing with Christian and Polo. It's so interesting to me that both Guzman and Lou have an issue with the way that Carla and Polo are doing their relationship. It's like you two have nothing to do with what we have going on here. So why is this any of your business?
And
Okay.
that's a problem of mine. Usually people that are unhappy tend to delve into other people's business so that they can find fault in it because they're unhappy with their own business.
Right, exactly. Because well, we'll get to her issues
Yeah, let's move on.
in a little bit. But anyways, so Christian asked Omar for some pills. They're at Sammy's house, and he spikes the punch. One of the bowls of punch. There are two bowls of punch. One of the bowls has a little too much sugar in it, and that sugar is whatever it is.
I think it might have been ecstasy.
I'm sure it was either ecstasy or Molly, one or the
One or
other.
the other.
One or the other. So we're going to have some spike punch at this party tonight, you all. So Nano sees Marina coming into the party. And so then we see Ander is no longer grounded. He calls and tells Guzman that because Guzman and Ander said that they were going to meet up a little bit later that day to kind of hang out and do a little bit of talking. But since Ander has been invited to this to Sammy's party, he lied to Guzman saying that he's a little tired after practice and he wants to get some shut eye. So
But
he
that
tells
kind of
Guzman.
bothers me.
Why?
How on earth is Guzman, a teenager, able to call up the parents of another teenager to get that teenager off of punishment? Like, what is that?
Possibly because of who his father is.
And that's a problem.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's all I got to say.
Yeah. That's I'm sure that's what it is. I'm sure that's what it
And
is.
all of that's just like,
because you have to remember, Anders' family is not rich like Guzman's family
yeah,
is.
but
So
and it's like a teenager has your daddy by the balls. That's how I feel, and that's
yeah,
scary.
it is. It is. Yeah. We don't want that. That's not a good thing at all. That is not a good thing at
How a
all. So,
teenager able to change the whole tides in your own house
right. Get you off of punishment. He just got on punishment like the episode
because
before.
of what he said.
Because of what he said. And now because of what he said again, he's no longer on punishment.
Mm-mm.
But Ander takes advantage of that. And I'm happy for Ander.
And I mean, why not? But I'm really side-eyeing the parents of Ander.
Yeah. It's
my desire to be a parent. I cannot see a teenager, a friend of my teenager, coming to me about, hey, go easy on your child, my best friend,
who just so happens to be the same age as me. I get it.
I would have hurt his feelings. Go ahead.
And so Guzman goes into Nadia's family store, and he's asking about where Sammy lives because he wants to go to this party because he knows that Marina is going to the party, and Guzman is extremely worried about Marina. He's very overprotective of Marina
because apparently she's going to end up in a van down by the river, and
yes, absolutely, a white van at that.
White van down by the river. That's what she's going to be ended up at.
Yes, and he pretty much just wants to save Marina, and I understand why he's so overzealous when it comes to Marina because he feels as though the reason why she contracted HIV is because she trusted someone who was not of their kind, who was not of their caliber. But
what bothers me is that anybody can deceive somebody.
And Marina tells Guzman that a little bit later
is he not doing the same thing to other people as well? It's like none of us are safe, brother.
But see, when Guzman does it, there's no issues with it because it's Guzman doing it. Exactly. So anyway, Nadia agrees to take him. He's going with her.
And it didn't take too much of a fight too. That's a problem. I already saw that earlier. Remember, I cannot believe this is just the third episode. But anywho,
why do you say that?
Saw that because it feels like so much has happened.
It is action packed,
and it's just episode 3. But my thing is that we saw that Nadia was like, okay, I guess I could give in a little bit. And
she's giving in a little bit, yes.
And when because I knew she was going to give in and tell him where that house was. I just knew it. How dare she? Move on.
Nadia's the op. Nadia is the
She sure is.
Honey. She is. It's just plain and simple, child. But she tells Guzman, you're coming with me. I'm not going with you. I'm the one with an invitation here. You're not welcome at this party.
And you don't have an invitation. Okay. I was invited. You were not.
I was invited. You were not. So, she's got something over Guzman, and I think she uses that as an excuse to make it okay that she's taking him to this party. I think that's the reason why she thinks it's okay to do this. But I really wasn't happy with her doing that. But I love Nadia, so it's such a balancing act.
It's unforgivable.
Okay. So Ander arrives. Sammy asks why he showed up, and he was invited by Christian. And he introduces him to Omar as if they
awkward
are not already not already aware of one
Because for
another's
all they know.
existence. Okay, they like they've never met before, but it is what it is. They play it off really well. They act as though they've never met before, so they do that. They do that pretty well. So, anyways, Omar says Sammy doesn't know he's Omar says Sammy doesn't know that he's gay and that he actually sells drugs. And Ander answers if hold on, Ander doesn't answer if he's out because Omar asked him, "Are you out?" Because here, let me start this over. Ander asked Omar if Sammy knows that he's gay and knows that he sells drugs, and so Ander then in response says that no, Omar in response asked Ander, do his people know that he's gay? So they have this whole back and forth going on, and then they kiss.
Mm-hmm.
How did you feel about that particular scene?
I didn't.
And why is that?
I don't know. It just felt like par for the course. They like each other.
It is, yeah. So
you know
oh,
what? This,
so
this is the most difficult time you ever had with your nose. What is going on?
I know. Typically, I read them. I read them ahead of time. But anyway, so
Oh,
Omar suggests that they play Truth, Dare, or Kiss. So they're going to clearly this is spin the bottle with Truth or Dare mixed in with it. I've
I
never
have
played
never
this.
seen any of that intertwined.
I've never seen this before. I'm not exactly sure
But
what's
we're in
going on
another
here.
country.
Right, yeah. So maybe that's the thing that they do. But anyway, so Marina ends up kissing a girl because she's asked if she likes anyone at the party. I guess if you don't answer the question, you have to kiss someone, or
Oh,
I guess that's so.
well,
Maybe it's
yeah.
like truth, dare, or drink. Because I've heard of truth, dare, or drink. So maybe it's truth, dare, or kiss instead of truth, dare, or
Well, of
drink.
course it's truth, dare, or kiss because all they want to do is have sex over there. That's just all a bunch of sex, all the sex, dirty sex, nasty sex, all the sex.
All the sex, just like Jocelyn said. And
Mm-hmm.
excuse me, Marina removes Christian's shirt. Christian tells detective that it was not Nano. We all know that Christian and Nano are pretty buddy as well. So, anyways, Christian tells Ander, Omar, and Nano about the whole situation with Carla and Polo, and he calls him the F word. I'm not going to say that word out loud. I will never say that word out loud. Anyway, so says that Polo was erect and was getting off on it because I think it was Omar asked if he was a voyeur, and a voyeur is
Yes,
someone who enjoys seeing other people,
looking.
yes, looking at other people engaged in sexual relations. And so then Ander and Omar's hands almost touch. But then when Christian says, "Oh, he's an F word," then their
Yeah,
hands kind of separate, which I thought that was cool. But anyways, and so then Anna suggests that there's nothing
that
wrong with
part was cool.
the fact that their hands almost touched. I'm
Oh,
looking
okay,
out
okay.
for the I'm here
For
for
the
the gays, I'm
relationship.
sure. And so Anna suggested there's nothing wrong with being gay. And surprisingly, at least surprisingly to me, the others agree. And Christian says, I actually have a cousin who's a drag queen. I'm down with the gays. It is what it is. So I like that, but at the same time, you still felt comfortable with using the F word. So
Well, I think that was just from looking at it. I think that was off the heels of ignorance,
exactly. I don't think he meant anything bad by it. I don't think he
not
wanted to
negative.
offend
No,
anyone who was gay by saying that. I don't think he would have used that word had he known that Omar and Andrew were gay.
or
I
maybe
would
he doesn't
hope
know
that he
how
would.
offensive it is,
That could be it as well.
or
That could be it as well.
maybe it's not as offensive out in Spain.
That could be. I don't know. I don't know. There are
You
a lot
gotta
of ways,
remember,
but
we in a different country.
right, but I do like Christian, so it didn't make me feel any less about him. But anyways, Nadia shows up with Guzman. Nano is not happy with this at all. Nadia suggests that they show him that they are good hosts. So of course Nando is ready to get in Guzman's ass, and
You
I'm
know what?
here for it at all times. So Guzman takes Marina to a back room, and then he asked her. You know, are you high? Are you what are you doing? And she said,
Oh,
oh, I only
child.
smoked a little, you know, ganja. You know what I'm saying? Guzman
Calm down.
still discriminating, and then she says, well, you could get caught up with someone of your own caliber, and they could be lying to you, and you wouldn't know it. So, you know, anybody, it's fair game for anyone. There's no respect of a person when it comes to this issue, Guzman.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think he's going to. I
Of
don't think he's
course
going to
not,
understand.
because of who he is. That's literally it.
Marina is mad at Nadia for bringing Guzman. Nadia tells her about her sister, and she says that she got lost, and we'll get into that a little bit later. But um,
Mhm.
we know the reason why Nadia brought Guzman is because she understands why Guzman wants to look out for Marina, and so she gets that. So did that soften you a little to Nadia's decision to bring Guzman to the party when you found out why she wanted to bring him to the party to help
Mm,
him out?
possibly a little. I
That
mean, it
sounds
makes sense, you know.
it does. That still sounds like a no though.
But
Just so
is
you
she?
know.
But is she still a op? Yes.
Absolutely, she's absolutely out straight
Okay.
up.
Like, are we forgetting who the enemy is?
Okay. So then Nadia asks for something that's non-alcoholic, and Sammy suggests the spike punch. So he suggested the punch that has a little bit too much sugar. I'm assuming that Sammy does not know that the punch has been spiked. I'm
He
assuming that
doesn't know.
he does not
He
know that.
doesn't know because if he would have known, he would have made sure to tell her, knowing how her father would feel
Right.
about her being inebriated.
Exactly.
He didn't know. He didn't know.
So then Sammy kind of spits up on Marina. Nadia is
And I
clearly,
thought that was stupid. You know when you about to throw up.
and he threw up right on top of her. Right, all in this area, all in the chesticle area.
Ugh, no thank you.
We see that Nadia is over in the corner, and she is feeling it, honey. The Molly or the what did you
She
say?
feeling happy.
Yes, she is. She is feeling very happy, and I'm happy to see
That's it,
that Nadia
ecstasy.
ecstasy. Yes, um, and so Nano approaches Marina. Um, and she asks why he's been staring at her for the entire night, because he's literally been staring at Marina since she came into the party. And Neno kisses her. Then she pushes him and kisses him back. What are your thoughts? Because I know you said that you saw this in episode 1 coming. So what were your thoughts on it now being confirmed?
Surprise. Surprise. That's literally it. I knew it was going to happen. All it took was a moment. I knew it was going to happen as soon as I saw that they were both in the same house at a party.
Yeah.
No.
So Marina says dare because they're playing this truth dare kiss game in this closet again. And he says that he suggests that they leave. So that's what they end up doing. So Nadia is clearly feeling it again. I think she's in the kitchen at this point. And so Ander asks Omar for another pill. Guzman sees it and approaches both of them.
Child. And he
Then
almost kissed him too.
yeah. And so then, you mean Omar almost kissed Ander?
No, Ander almost kissed Omar.
Yeah,
Because
because
he
he
was
took.
like, no, like,
Yeah,
what are you doing?
yeah. And so then Christian interrupts and says Ander was invited. Ander was invited. Says Guzman was not welcome there. I love the fact that Christian does not see it for Guzman. I love the fact that he understands that Guzman is the ultimate op, and he's not here for
At least
Guzman.
now, because I don't even know why he over. Because he spilled all too many beans before he realized that, I guess. But go ahead.
Right, exactly. Like you know who this man is. You know how he operates. Like, why would you tell him about Ander? That's
Why?
I'm still a little bit mad at Christian for writing Ander out. But anyway, so Guzman, oh, excuse me, Guzman admits Christian spilled the fact that that Ander got his drugs from Omar. And so Ander says that says F everyone, and Ander rushes out of the party. I
Yeah.
don't know if this is Ander being a little bit inebriated, or I think he also is truly feeling this. I think he might have had the same reaction even if he wasn't inebriated. Do you think Ander still would have been as upset if he wasn't inebriated?
Let's see.
Because he's mad that Christian told Guzman about his weed
To
use.
be honest, I take inebriation as just it doesn't amplify, in my opinion. These are my opinions. I don't believe it amplifies anything as far as your emotions are concerned. It just makes you feel more free to express them.
That's
So
a good explanation.
I believe that he would have felt the same way. He just might have not acted on those feelings as he did that night.
Right, he might not have been as bold as he was.
Exactly.
Because Anders a little bit quiet. Anders
Yeah.
not the loudest person in the room when he's in a room, and that's the same as Omar. Omar's pretty quiet as well. So I think that's another reason why I like their relationship. But anyway, so Nadia sees Marina leaving the party with Nano. Sammy and Nadia, both Sammy and Nadia are feeling it because Sammy has some of that punch too. And Christian says the police are coming.
Hmm.
I'm not sure who called the police. Probably their I was about to say B.
Neighbors.
I was about to say BITCHASS. They're jazz. They
Yes, them.
Polo and Carla are having dinner with her parents, and apparently Polo's parents are lesbians. He's got two moms, which I think is awesome in this particular episode in this particular series, and their parents may not. He's saying that he may not go on the trip that they have planned for them to go. They're going to some other country. I don't know. I really don't care
Uh-huh.
either. So, anyways, Marina and Nano go back to her house, and she wants to tell him about her status. She's about to tell him, but then he kisses her, and they get to the getting. They get to their, as Alexander Rogers would say, coitus, which is relationship. Relation.
Go relations.
That's
Doing
what
it.
they're
Wait, who
doing.
was doing it?
Nano and Marina.
Oh yeah. And she got naked.
Yeah, they both did. We got to see
We
some cheeks
some
too.
butts and boobies.
Yes, honey.
And what were you thinking about when that happened?
I can't say that I didn't see it coming, just as you saw it coming. It did not surprise me, and surprisingly, I'm really not upset about it because I
Hmm.
feel like Marina, for some reason, really doesn't want Sammy, and we'll get to the reason why a little bit later. What an indication was that she really wasn't interested in Sammy a little bit later, but. And I think the reason why is because she met Nano and she sees Nano as a better option than
And like
Sammy.
more of a rebellious person. She wants to get with the baddest person.
She wants to get with the bad boy. And the bad boys, like the girls go for them. I mean, people might be. I was surprised when I found out that Janet Jackson had relations with Bobby Brown. I really was. It sort of kind of shocked me a little bit. But those bad
Going
boys
against the grain.
going against that's what people do. So
And also, one of the first things that I was thinking, like, so where's the condom?
yes. And we were not shown any condom.
No condom application nor condom wrapper.
Because
Nothing.
typically they would show that if they want to show it, they would show it.
Yes.
And they did not show that. So
They did not show that. No.
the police they've stopped the party. And Nadia asks Guzman where he's going. She suggests going back to Guzman's house so that they can swim in her pool. Now, remember, Nadia is inebriated. She's on this Molly or this ecstasy, whatever the case might be.
Hmm.
And she, for some reason, she throws in Guzman's face, if you don't let me come back to your pool, then I'll tell everybody what I saw in the shower. I don't know. It kind of irks me that she keeps trying to use this excuse against Guzman, even though it is working.
It's effective.
It is effective. It's still, I guess, in my opinion, it's lame. It's kind of lame to me. I don't know why, but I'm starting not to like Nadia as much as I liked her at the beginning of this particular series.
I
And the
see.
reason why is because it seems like she's getting interested in Guzman. And
It's like we want her to stand strong on her belief. We want her to stand on your belief. You gonna bring those on when you come out here? I need to bring you a couple
please remind me
to
on
pack it.
Tuesday, and I'll try to put it in my
Yes.
calendar as well. So
Okay.
y'all have y'all red flags. But yeah,
Child.
it's I'm seeing, even though it's like not the worst thing in the world, but it's like Nadia, like you can do so much better than Guzman. Anybody but him, literally anybody but him. But anyway,
Child.
so Carla and Polo talk about doing a threesome with Christian. Now, this is not we do our thing and you watch situation. This is an actual threesome with all three participants being involved in the relations. Do you see this as them taking a step forward towards something else? What are you thinking when they're having this conversation, Jennifer?
I appreciate the conversation. I wish they were adults because just the whole thing that they're in high school and they're having these kind of conversations. It does show a level of maturity, but I just don't like that this is something that they're doing so young. But
Mhm.
I find all of it healthy though. For them to have the conversation and understanding. I know it would be kind of weird to do that up front, but now that they're in this space, they're taking advantage of, hey, we have moments of levity right now. Let's look into doing this. So I appreciate the conversation. I thought it was smart.
Very mature for teenagers, for sure.
Absolutely.
Um, So Nano, after the coitus has concluded with Marina, Nano goes into this room with the safe.
Child.
For some reason, the safe is empty, so we don't know what was
Not
actually
only not only empty but open.
open and
Still
empty. Yes,
open
so
and empty.
it was recently emptied out. And so then he goes onto a computer that is magic. Was the computer open? Was the laptop open
The laptop
and
was
on
already open.
and on?
And it was on and he tried to get into it, but that didn't work.
That didn't work because Guzman and Nadia show up and he hears them coming into the house. And so then Ander asks some random man outside of the party if they're selling pills. And they assault him. Omar defends him. And then they have this little conversation because Ander didn't get any more pills from Omar because I think Omar is really looking out for Ander. And
Yeah,
Omar
because you can
understands.
tell that when somebody is already in an altered state and they're
Mhm,
already emotional,
right.
you don't want to feed that. You don't want to feed that.
And so then eventually, Omar asked Ander not to contact him anymore. And the reason why is because he doesn't want the fact that he's selling drugs. And even though no one really knows that he's gay besides Ander, he doesn't want that fact to get out as well because with
Hmm.
his parents being who his parents are, being very religious, not exactly, I'm assuming they're Muslim. Um,
Yeah,
so
that's what
with
it
his
looks like.
parents being who they are, he doesn't want that to blow up. He doesn't want that to blow up in his face. And he said that they should part ways, which is saddening for me because I'm here for the gay stuff. But excuse me, this is only episode 3 out of 8 episodes in this first
Exactly.
season, so we know this is not the end of Omar
I
and
can't
Ander.
imagine that would be the end. I'm just, curious as to how they would come back together.
Right. So Nadia's in the pool. Guzman jumps in. Nadia seems to want to kiss Guzman in
Oh,
this
they're getting
moment.
close, honey.
And he realizes that she's
Like
inebriated and he's
you,
going to call a cab.
and
Did this?
I think he was smart enough. I like this. He was smart enough to realize it was spite because she would have never done that on purpose.
He knows that she's a good person. He knows that she
She don't
stands
do
by
that
her
stuff.
values. He knows
Her
that
drinks were spiked. He didn't say,
exactly.
"Oh, also you're getting drunk now, or you're taking drugs now." No, and that's what I thought that he was gonna do,
Mm.
but he didn't. He says, your drinks were spiked. You got to go."
And does that tell you something about how he feels about Nadia?
Oh yeah, I already know. I already know because he is naturally falling for her. I don't know why though, but it's happening.
Interesting. It's really really interesting the way
Agreed.
that this happens. It really is. So Ander has Brace on his hand. He comes. I'm not sure where they are in this in
With
this
that
particular
brace,
scene. Yes, with the Brace
they at school.
at school. Okay, I was wondering whether they were at school or not. And told his father that he got injured, that he injured himself at Guzman's pool. And Guzman speaks up for his friend Ander, and acknowledges that yes, that happened. Yes, that did happen. So then Nadia apologizes to Marina about bringing Guzman to the party. Says Marina reminds her of her sister. And she says that her sister left home at 18, got involved with drugs and alcohol and things of that nature, and they haven't seen her since.
And this she says it's been since for 2 years.
2 years,
haven't seen her.
yes.
They haven't heard from her. That's scary.
It's so scary, especially with her family being the way that they are. And you would think that they're pretty close, tight knit type of family, type of situation. So for that to happen, that's really out of the ordinary. At least in my opinion, from the outside looking in, it would seem that would be pretty different. But
Absolutely.
anyways, so Marina suggests that to Nadia they have fun while they're young. You know what I'm saying? We got time to be old and do stuff grown people do. You know what I'm saying? We're young. We're so fun. Let's do what young kids do.
She said we're 16. We have the rest of our lives to get it right.
Exactly.
And I do agree with her though. I agree.
When you're young, do young things. Much like the man who stole the kids from that school on Attorney Wu. When you're young, do young kid things. You only got these years for a certain amount of time, so you might
have fun now, honey.
Right, because you ain't gonna be no recess when you're 20 years old. Okay, 21 at that.
Ooh, that hurt my feelings right there. Ain't no recess for that.
No, not at all. Nano is told by the detectives. Sammy saw him running from the scene, covered in blood as well. So, do you like the way that they're including this investigation, going back and forth? Do you like that?
It's like I feel like we're not getting a whole lot from the investigation, but it is nice to hear what people are saying about others, whether people are lying about what happened in the meantime, in between time. So that's really something. That is a different way of doing things because it's not just in the first episode; it's in all the episodes. Them jumping back. Because it seemed like for the last episode they were trying to go in on Guzman, and now it's on the brothers.
So Nano and Sammy, yes. And by the end of this episode, you'll appreciate it. By the end of this season, rather, you'll appreciate it even more. You will appreciate it even more.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I'm going to ask you a question at the end of this review.
Okay.
Yeah. Remind me to ask you that question though, because I might forget. Anyway, so Nadia thanks Guzman for not taking advantage of her, and for calling her a cab. And calls him a gentleman.
Yes.
Guzman says that he's surprised that she. Guzman says she surprised him in the pool. Then Lou tells Nadia that their plan, and blames it on her threatening them with the shower thing. So they're about to, do another race at the pool. And Lou tells Nadia, Guzman was just going to have sex with you. And he was just going to tell, because Lou sees that Guzman and Nadia are getting closer together. Lou is then, intimidated that somebody's about to take her man because.
Isn't that sad though?
I didn't mention
all this.
Right.
I'm sorry.
I didn't mention this before, but Carla and Lou had a phone conversation. And Carla called out Lou and said, I don't know why you still with Guzman. I know the only reason why you're with Guzman is because he doesn't want to commit to you. So all you're doing is taking the scraps, the little scraps that he's giving you on the side, the little bit of DICK that he's giving you on the side. Yeah, that's good enough for you because that's all you can get from him because he won't give you nothing else. Okay, Carla is that girl. Okay,
And
Carla's
that is
selling
kind
Lou
of
the
sad.
business.
And I didn't even realize, like, oh, they're not official. They just been having sex.
That's it. And because that's all Lou can get. That's all Guzman will give her.
Dang.
Does that make you feel sad for Lou? I know it doesn't.
No.
No.
Because when you put yourself in a tough position, you have to remember this is the position that you put yourself in. She's well aware that she's not wanted, but she decides to stay there because she likes where it is.
And I feel as though, much like a lot of men and women, because I was just going to say women, because a lot of men think this too. Sometimes
Hmm.
they feel like if we keep doing this, then maybe one day they
One
might
day,
want to, make this
no,
official. And that's
they're
that's
never gonna.
that's never going to be the case. That is
It's
never
never gonna
going to
change your
be.
mind. It's just not gonna be that. It just is what it is.
No. So Lou spills the beans to Nadia because she's intimidated because she knows that her man is about to get taken from right up under her by this woman with a hijab on her head, and
Okay,
she don't like that at all. Lou is just like the lowest of the totem pole, like
agreed.
literally the lowest of the totem pole, and I think Lou knows that, and the fact that she
Hmm.
knows that makes her go even harder as far as what her tactics are to make everyone feel as though they are beneath her when they're actually way above her.
Yeah.
Like as far as this cast is concerned, Lou is an afterthought, at least in my opinion. I don't care to see her on screen. It is what it is. But anyway, so Lou tells.
No, I do agree. She's an afterthought. Even the rest of her friends or the posse or whatever, they're like, I don't even know why you going through all this. Like, why,
As Evelyn Lozada said, she's a non-effing factor. Period.
she
Point blank.
and this is true, and she sees it.
And she sees it.
That's why she's so upset and unhappy. She sees it.
Gosh. Anyways,
Ain't that
so
life? Oof.
ain't it?
Ain't
Ain't
that
it?
life?
That's why
Oof.
this show is so good to me. That's why this show is so good to me, Jennifer. That's why. The layers, honey. The layers. But
Layers. You do have a
anyway,
point there. You do have a point
anyway,
there.
so Guzman talks to Nadia, and Guzman is like, it was actually Lou's idea, which Guzman was telling the truth. It was Lou's idea. She did bring this
Yes.
idea up to him. And so then Guzman turns around and tells Nadia, well, you're no saint because you spread your legs in that pool for me. And then she slaps him across the face. What did you think of that exchange?
I'm not surprised at the
Guzman
slap.
showing his true colors again.
I'm not surprised at the slap. I'm happy for her to kind of like, hey, well, you gonna respect me. Don't play like that around me. And you know the state that I was in. I was drugged, and you knew I was, and that was what going on. That's why you took me home. So don't try to use that against me, sir.
And
Just
I wouldn't
because
have done it if I wasn't drugged.
just because you caught up. So no, don't do that.
Just because you
That
got
slap was
feelings for me,
deserved.
okay?
Exactly.
Just because you
That was
didn't take,
deserved.
just because you didn't take the chance when you had it. Don't get mad at me for that.
And you saw that he had his phone set up to record it all, right?
Yes. No, I didn't. No, I didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't see that.
At the pool.
Wow.
Yes, his phone was set up to record it.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that means it would have made a lot more sense for him to go ahead and go through with it, but and
But he
and
actually likes her.
but he actually likes her, and that's the reason why.
And
But
Lou know.
again, the layers, girl, the layers. Anyway, so Sammy apologizes to Marina for spitting up on her, and says that he only drank to get the courage to tell her that he likes her. I'm so surprised that he's just now telling Marina that he likes her. Are you
Well,
surprised
we
that it took
are
him
in just
until?
the third episode, Jonathan.
Yeah, that's. But it's like they've been having this somewhat chemistry since
Back and
episode
forth.
one. Since the first time that she talked to him, I could tell that she liked him at least a little bit. Um,
But She lost that though at the party when he just did whatever her dad said to do. She
Yes.
was like, you're not the a rebel that I want to have,
And you know who would not do that?
which
Nano.
is Nano. And that's why she was automatically looking at him, because he was such a fight against the system, but he about to be dead because of the fact that there's money owed.
Exactly. Well, I won't say exactly.
Exactly. Okay.
So Marina then reveals her status to Sammy, and she doesn't want anyone else to know. And Sammy is starstruck, not starstruck, but he's awestruck by this.
Yeah. What?
He's completely silent. He doesn't know how to respond to it whatsoever. Which I thought that was. What did you think of Marina deciding to tell him to tell Sammy her status? And before you knew why, before Nano told her why she said it, why did you think that she revealed it to him? Was it the same reason that Nano thinks she revealed it to him?
No. So in that conversation with Nano, it was like, well, true. But when she told him,
Mm-hmm.
initially I was thinking like maybe she just wanted to keep it real with him or whatever.
That's what I'm
But
thinking.
as I continue to think about it, it's like it's not like they were about to have sex or anything, or even contemplate a sexual relationship together. The
What
boy
what
just said that she liked him.
right? What was
He
the
liked her.
Yeah, so I understand why she would have said it at that moment, because he said that he liked her, and she was like, "Well, before we go any further, if we were to go any further,
Let me just make sure you know.
I
But it
just want
wasn't
you to
even like
know."
that. It wasn't
No,
even like that. So I agree with Nano when you say what Nano says.
exactly. So Christian is hanging around with Nano. I do like Christian and Nano going being around each other.
They're more
I
like brothers than Chris, Nano, and Sammy.
Nano and Sammy, absolutely, like they're long lost brothers. Christian and Nano, they bring out, in my opinion, the best in each other, or the authenticity of each other,
Yeah.
their true selves. They're able they don't fake the funk around anyone. So when people who don't fake the funk around anyone are together, you get the full blast of who they are completely. So that's why I love seeing them together, because they're so authentically themselves.
Yeah.
Christian gets a text from Carla and Polo saying that they want to meet up again, and Nano says that Nano says, the reason why, the reason why they want you in their situation, because their sex sucks and you fine. You the bee's knees. There's a reason why you decided to walk naked through the hallways, because you knew every single eye was gonna be on you. You know what I'm saying? The niggas and the women's gonna be looking at you. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
You got it, boy. Stop acting like you don't know. You know.
Okay.
I love that Christian and Nano are bigging each other up in this
Good
way.
relationship. Yeah.
I really do. Like, this is what besties do, like, for real, for real. And so he suggested, go ahead and do it. You know what I'm saying? It's some free PUSSY. You know what I'm saying? And Polo is literally allowing you to have
To have
relations with
with
his
his.
girl. Why would you turn that down?
You gotta think about that, man. Gotta think about it. And I agree.
So, anyways, we're getting to the scene that I mentioned a little bit earlier, where Lulu is on the phone with Carla. Carla says that Lou is only with Guzman as a cut buddy, because he doesn't want to commit. And she's only doing it because that's all she's going to get with him.
Oof.
And then she said, and then she gets a doorbell. The doorbell rings, and I don't know if Lou asked who that was, but Carla says that she's putting her ovaries on the table, which is what Lou suggested that she do in episode 1 or 2. So this further solidifies that Carla is that girl. Like,
She's been that girl.
she's been since episode 1, honey. She's been that
There is
girl.
no competition. She ain't fighting nobody. She's just her.
And the thing is, she ain't got to. She ain't got to, because ain't nobody coming for her. Can't nobody come for her spot. Like, can't
Nah,
nobody come for her spot.
absolutely not. Okay.
So Christian meets up with Carla at her place, and she has this this apartment that her parents have gotten for her. So she's
Yeah.
already set up
Yeah,
for,
furnishing room by room.
yes, room by room, child. And so then Polo shows up, invites him for dinner. So they want to go out and do a little something, something, something. Sammy tells Nano Marina is HIV positive, and upset that he said nothing. He's upset with himself that he said nothing in response. He wishes that he would have said something like "I don't care" or "That's okay," or whatever the case might be. Sammy has actually done a little bit of research on HIV, understanding that it's not what it was back in the 80s, that people are able to live with the HIV. I'm a living witness. People are able to live with HIV and still live a happy, long, I was about to
Long,
say
healthy life.
longevous, long, healthy life. Yes, there you go. So Polo and Carla explain why they like Christian is because they feel like their life is boring, and suggest hooking up again, but an actual threesome this time. Um, where do you see this Polo, Carla, and Christian thing going? Do you
I
have any
don't.
thoughts? You don't.
I don't know where it's gonna go. I'm watching the show. I'm clueless with that one.
I understand why. I understand why because because we really don't know where Polo stands, and we still
Hmm.
don't know why he's doing this. We still don't understand why Polo is allowing Carla to do this, and we know that Carla's interested in.
But we do have something. He is a voyeur, and
Yeah,
we can hold on to that. But we'll see what happens in the future.
yeah. We know why Carla's interested because Christian fine. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
it's
Fine as
just
one.
like that. Yeah,
Straight up. Um, So, anyways, Marina meets with Nano. She knows that Sammy's told him because ain't no other reason in her mind why
he'd be
Nano
there.
would want to meet up with her. And so she explains that she's undetectable. Excuse me, for those who do not know, if you are living with HIV and you're undetectable, that means you cannot transmit the disease sexually. It means that it's almost if you take an HIV test, it will not show that you are HIV positive because the viral load is so low. So that's what she means by she is undetectable. And I wish more people understood that because I feel as though if more people understood that, there wouldn't be so much stigma around
Yeah,
HIV still to this day. Um, I think it'd be looked at as just any other STD, but it is what it is. Because of the impact that it had back in the 80s, we completely understand why it
of
still
course.
has the sting that it does
Yeah,
when someone says that they're HIV
it's got about
positive.
4 more minutes, Jonathan.
Okay, all right. So Nano is not upset with her because of the fact that she told Sammy that she was HIV positive, but for the reason why it's
Why?
because she's not interested in him. She told him because she thought it would make him run away from her so that she wouldn't have to pursue any type of relationship with him. Did you agree with Nano in that moment?
And when he said that, I said, I absolutely agree because it was kind of weird the way it came out that she's HIV positive, and we just left that there. If she would have been, ain't that something? All she had to do was to say, "I am not as interested in you as you are in me."
Right. But
I'm
she
sorry.
decided to reveal the fact that she's HIV positive, which she doesn't want anyone else to know. But I guess she didn't want to say that she wasn't interested in him because he would probably ask her why. And maybe she didn't want to give him an
You have an
explanation.
answer,
The
or the
reason
fact
why
that
is
she's
because
already been with your brother.
that's it. That's it right
Uh,
there. So we're down to my last notation. So we find out that Marina was pregnant.
yes.
Nano
Well, I think they
says,
said it in the last one. She was pregnant. Yeah.
oh yes, they did say that at the end of the last episode. So yeah,
Yeah.
so the detective tells Nano that Marina was pregnant, and Nano says that they were going to run away with each other, and he came to pick her up, but it was too late.
He
And
found her like that.
he found her dead, and he suggests that Sammy did it. So my question to you: who do you think is the one that killed Marina?
I don't have enough evidence. I don't have enough.
No
I don't
guesses
know.
whatsoever.
No.
Because it's really up in the air.
It really is, because people are just these whole 3 episodes. While into the interrogations that we've been seeing,
Hmm.
everybody's been talking in circles and trying to
Right.
point
Point the
to
finger at somebody else.
at somebody else exactly. And with the brothers, unfortunately, Nano and Sammy, they both pointing the fingers at each other. So it's like, I don't know. We shall see, though. I hope they gather the evidence needed. But in interrogation, in my opinion, you don't get a whole lot up front. So hopefully they'll get some corroborating evidence to figure out what's going on.
Yes. I think you're enjoying the show.
You know what? I'll say this: it's not making me as angry. I'll say that.
Okay. Okay. Getting into the storylines. It's not do you see watching the show as a chore, like I have to do this? Or do you think you might watch this on your own?
I wouldn't
I don't
watch
know
it
if
on my
you
own.
wouldn't watch this on your own.
I'm
Yeah,
on my
this is not
own,
your tea.
no.
Yeah.
But I would. I have to say, I'll watch the next episode, see what foolishness and folly is
Are
afoot.
you excited to see where this is going to go?
Not at the moment. I
Okay.
am curious as to who killed old girl, though.
Okay. Okay. All right. Well,
See
that's
to
it.
see how that comes about.
Gotcha. Gotcha. It's very interesting. I will say that. It's
I'm
very
pretty
interesting.
sure the way they
And I'll
put
leave it
the
at
way
that.
they lining this up. So I'm excited to see how that.
Yeah,
Okay, I'm excited to see
yeah.
how that came about.
Yeah, you won't see it coming for sure.
Oh, okay. Now hush, no more, before you slip
Okay.
something.
Oh well. All right, y'all. That's it for episode 3 of Elite. Join us the next time for episode 4, where we get more into the happenings and goings on Elite. Hope y'all have a wonderful day.
Bye.